CEO of UnitedHealthCare, was shot dead in New York City. Brian Thompson, man. It was like, I don't know. I know you've seen the videos, man, of just being shot in cold blood. Like, you know what I mean? Somebody waiting for you, like an assassin. The gunman's still at large. Definitely is a manhunt going on in New York City. But I think one of the bigger things that have come out from the story is just the lack of sympathy and empathy for Brian Thompson. Like, many videos have started trending of just people just no sympathy for this man, no sympathy for what happened because of the industry that he works in, the healthcare insurance industry. And you have obviously career experience in the insurance industry. What do you is that not is that's weird, right? Like,
I mean, so I haven't been following too much of, like, you know, people's reaction to the situation. I mean, I can imagine, but I mean, a man was killed, you know, nobody, I mean, not that nobody deserves to die, but I'm sure unless he did something heinous that we don't know about that will come out, you know, he didn't deserve to die. So regardless of how you feel about the insurance industry, I mean, that was a bit extreme.
He's not the guy that answers your calls.
Right.
I don't even think he's the person that makes the decisions of whether they're going to cover or something or not. I think that's part of, like, the company code. Right.
There's probably a board of members that, you know, so
to blame him.
I mean, it's kind of like the coach. The coach is going to get, you know, the axe at the end of the day. So
the team loses. Yeah, but that's crazy. News came out. Pictures have come out of the believed gunman. I see pictures of him with a mask on. I've seen some without the mask. I think they showed his face. They revealed that the three bullets that were found, the shell casings had the words "deny, defend and depose."
Yeah.
What is the significance of that?
Well, that's the title of a book.
Is it?
Regarding, like, the healthcare insurance industry, and I don't know the full story about the book, but it's the title of a healthcare insurance book.
Probably, like, and it's probably not shining a great light.
Yeah, no, it can't be.
Healthcare insurance. Oh, okay. All right, that makes No, but like I said, I've seen people coming out just talking about they've been denied for stuff. Their baby's been denied, and I'm like, I get you, and I'm not saying that your situation isn't sad or something that we should be sympathetic for, but don't tie it in a celebration of a man being shot down in New York City, because that's not great for society if things like that start happening. You know what I mean? We also have this weird lack of empathy for rich people. Like, I remember with the Titanic submersible, how people remember they said it imploded down there, but just how people were, like, making jokes about it and, like, I don't want to say celebrating it, but there definitely wasn't sympathy. It was like, why would you rich people go down there? What the hell were y'all looking for? Kind of victim blaming, kind of like it's just like, I get it. We don't, just because, you know, like, rich people,
they live different lives, and I think we have to understand that. And I think subconsciously, whether it's a little bit of envy or something like that, y'all shouldn't have been doing that anyway.
Yeah.
Well, if you was rich, maybe you would be trying to do something similar. But, you know, so
some of these people are born into this too. They didn't do terrible things necessarily. Right. Like, maybe their grandfather did or something like that. But it's like, this is what they were born into. Like, you know what I'm saying? This is the lifestyle. So they'll be mad at, you can be mad at them, but don't celebrate death. Like, that's weird to be in my just everything I've seen. But that's one of the saddest things I've seen, like, this past week. And it took over the news when it happened, because it's like people couldn't believe that it happened. He was on his way to a conference, a healthcare conference, which makes you think that this guy knew his movements to know that he was going to be there at 6 a.m. It's scary. I think his wife had come out that they were receiving threats to his home. So that's on his point too. If you were receiving threats, you gotta take them serious.
I'm sure they will now.
Yeah, it's not a thing where you can play around with anybody's stupidity, because just like when Drake and Kendrick got into their beef and people were showing up at Drake's crib, you don't know if that was people that, you know, he was beefing with in Canada,
right?
Or if that was Kendrick's people, or if that was just somebody that's stupid. Because people have, you know what I mean, or someone facing a mental health issue, and it's like, you don't have time to decipher.
Right.
You gotta protect yourself. So definitely throw some prayers out to the Brian Thompson's family, and I'm sure nobody's running to fill that position because, like,
Contrary. I'm sure people are running to fill the
you think
position
so?
to get that money.
That's true.
I mean, they posted the position like 2 days later.
They really?
Yeah. So
Damn.
people were saying, "Oh, the company don't care about like with their business. With the like
They
their leader
keep it
got
moving.
taken out. They need somebody else." Oh, hey.
That's crazy. No, that is thing crazy though because they haven't even caught the guy that did it yet, and they're ready for the next
The
dude
world
up.
moves on.
That's
people.
how the world. That is
It's like,
don't kill yourself for these jobs because they will move on.
like I seen a post. The lady was, "Your company doesn't care for you." Da, 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 da. When did you think your company cared for you? It's a business at the end of the day.
I think a lot of people in this country believe that. Like,
yeah, they do it stupidly, but it's a business at the end of the day. Always keep that at the forefront. It is a business.
Yeah, I think generations. I mean, maybe we haven't faced it. I mean, I've seen that dream kind of get sold to me a few times, but I think the generation before us too, they were really sold that. Like, stick with this company. They'll make sure that you can retire good and da 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 da. And then them companies might not be around by the time you're gonna retire. You know what I mean? So it's just like, yeah, don't put all your faith and belief in anything, man. This dude died for his job. That I thought about that too as a CEO. Like, did he even work? Like,
I wonder how long he was in that position.
Like, he's not the founder of that company.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he probably goes from like industry to industry being CEOs, which is crazy. So that's it ain't worth dying for, man. We had broke the story about the UnitedHealthCare killer. We didn't know who he was at that time. It was UnitedHealthCare CEO killer. He gunned down Brian Thompson, and he was on the run. There was a manhunt going on. They got like a couple pictures of him like smiling at a girl at the hospital, all that. But they didn't know who he was.
Right.
They ran down on your man Luigi in the McDonald's in Pennsylvania, Luigi Mangione, and it's been a story ever since. Just finding out his background, found out that he's an individual who suffered from extreme back pain. Wasn't covered by UnitedHealthCare though,
right?
And nor was his mom or anything like that. So it was kind of a weird connection. I don't think we still know why that has happened, but definitely just knows that he's read the book about the healthcare industry.
Right.
He's had his own comments about how bad it is. I think the profile picture on one of his social medias was an X-ray of his fused back from surgery. So they're assuming that maybe he was wronged by the healthcare industry in some way, shape, or form, and that's why he felt the way he had. But they caught him in PA. Took a little week to extradite him to New York, but they brought him in like he was Bane.
Yeah, for real. Like all this for this dude.
Craziest perp walk I've ever seen, bro. But it was when you got a high profile story, the mayor's gonna definitely use that as a especially when he got his own legal trouble. So what do you just think about this whole situation? I mean, one, women were falling in love with this guy Luigi Mangione because of his looks. Also, people were falling in love with him because of their hate of the healthcare industry.
Yeah, it's weird, like
very weird, right?
Because I mean, he literally assassinated a man, and I don't understand where people are just like, yeah, free him. Like he did some type of real justice. Like he murdered a man at the end of the day, and at the end, and I think they're coming from the perspective, well, the healthcare system murders people all the time. Like y'all let people die, y'all don't cover. That's not, what's his name, Brian Thompson? That's not the work of Brian Thompson. The system itself is flawed.
It is.
Like, taking care of one individual ain't gonna fix the system. And so, like, you know, people coming out in support of Mangione is just, it's really weird.
There's two things there. Brian Thompson, I think we said this last time. I made the comment of saying, like, he's not the guy who answers your calls and denies. But I think he actually is part of the reason why that company denies people so much. I think they're one of the higher ones in terms of denying.
They're the biggest.
Yeah, which would make sense. Yeah, exactly. But I got to double check this. I did hear he implemented some type of AI response in terms of what some people's denials would be ran through an AI. What's the word I want to look for here? Like a system of some sort that I guess if it met certain criteria, it would be approved. And I believe upon re-examining some of those cases, they saw that some people were denied for stuff that they shouldn't have been denied for. So, you do got a little blood on your hand, but nobody wants to die in cold blood at 6 a.m. New York City on your way to work. Like, that's like one of the worst ways to die, you know what I mean? Even if you in the streets that's a terrible way to die. Right. So as a CEO of a multi-million-dollar company, like that is one of the worst ways to have to go out. So to see people celebrating that is crazy. Now, number 2, why I give Brian a pass? You said it. The healthcare industry, whether from being in the hospital to being the insurance that covers it, is flawed. It's a fucked up system. Me and my girl were talking about it today, and we were just going through certain things, and like she had just came to the realization of why they use words like deductibles and premiums, and I'm like, because they don't want poor people to understand what those terms mean, right? Because you get more of a benefit if you're not using your full benefits. The company makes more money, right? It's like your FSA, right? If you don't spend it, that's free money that they get. Yeah, so it's just like I'm not saying this, but it's the business. It's not a great business, but it also it helps a lot of people also.
Right.
But I've always noticed that. I might have been a conversation me and you had. I was like, why do they use these words? Why do they use these, you know what I mean? And it's not just the insurance industry, like banking, different things. They use certain terms because they think uneducated people aren't going to do the research or don't know what these words mean, or you know what I mean. And so what the case might be. So just knowing that it's a fucked up business. You know what I mean? So how you can't expect these people to be doing great things. There's a need for it. Also, maybe healthcare companies shouldn't be publicly traded companies because now you're beholden to the stockholder and not your customer. And you're going to be replaced by the board if you don't make a certain amount of money. Right. So now who are you looking out for? And I think that's where the conflict of interest lies. And how they're going to fix that, I don't know. Yeah. But killing...
Well, you can't fix it. I mean, to the extent that healthcare remains privatized, you can't fix it. It will always be a business. Business comes first, so...
And killing people in the street in cold blood is not the way to go about it. Like that's not gonna change it because like they're just gonna pop someone else in the seat. They're gonna keep doing what they're doing. You know what I mean? So they just gonna have more security with them now.
Right.
But yeah, this thing is definitely it's taking over the country in terms of media coverage. It's gonna be very interesting to see where it goes from here because he's trying to defend himself. He's said he's not guilty. Oh, you know why they did that when he came to New York City? Because I think when they arrested him in PA, he was bugging out a little bit. Wasn't he like yelling at the media? He was making a scene. They like,
but I mean,
they're like, we're about to make no scene in New York.
He was just yelling.
They're like, nah, we not doing. You could tell he was mad subdued. They had a conversation with him when they was like,
you try that shit. This is New York. This is New York.
Like you about to be in the same jail with Diddy, bro. You don't want to know what we can do, bro.
Harvey, you remember what happened?
Epstein.
Epstein, you remember what happened to Epstein?
No, you don't want to go out like that, bro. Nah, they definitely subdued him, man. They said first-degree murder in New York because they indicted him on first-degree murder in furtherance of terrorism. 2 counts of second-degree murder, including 1 as act of terrorism and a slew of weapons charges. In New York, first-degree murder is reserved for cases with certain aggregating factors, including terrorism. Terrorism is considered an act that is intended to intimidate or coerce a civilian population. So, I guess they feel like he was trying to start a movement.
Yeah. Trying to get them Fed charges.
Yeah, see what that manifesto said. Because when they caught him, they found the fake ID, the ghost gun, and they had access to his manifesto. So who knows what he was admitting to? Yeah, it's gonna be interesting, bro. It's gonna definitely be interesting to see where this one goes and if there's gonna be no copycats. Another thing interesting is they said the McDonald's employee you called the 911 might not get no money. Because they ain't called a tip line.
Tight. I'd be so tight. Like, that's messed up. Like, somebody better make sure that person get taken care of.
Because now you're going to incentivize people to not snitch.
Right. It was like, all this procedure, like, get rid of the red tape. Like, that's nonsense.
Get that money over to him if he gets convicted. Not that, you know what I mean? Because, like, I think he wanted to get caught. They said he was chilling in there for mad long. And then the McDonald's, like, I guess where you going to go?
I mean, you got to eat. Yeah. And from my understanding, like, he didn't necessarily have a home. So
he didn't live in PA, right?
He didn't live in PA, so I mean, you know, maybe he was
like, I'm tired of running.
Plotting, thinking about my next move.
You picked the wrong place, bro. Perfect Talk is what it do. It's your guy DJ Playboy holding it down for the Perfect Talk podcast, man. Thank you so much for checking out this short clip. If you like what you see, go check out the full episodes right there. Also hit the subscribe button, turn the notifications on, hop in the comments, baby.